Hello everybody, hello Bohemia Interactive. I'm Javier Rollón. I want to present myself a little. I have been developing video games and I've been in the game industry for almost 25 years, if not already past. And I wanted to introduce myself first of all, as this is my profession, because I want to talk about something in the development of the last Arma Reforger we already have, and it has been incredible at last to have something new and to have that potential in the future that will bring in a new Arma series that there is nothing compared around in all the video game industry, especially such great support from the company to the modders that we all together, both connected, we can make incredible things inside a sandbox that is incredible. I wanted to just introduce myself a little. I make planes right now in the video game industry, or simulation in this case. I have been working for Laminar Research in the past for 8 years. Now I buy my own, have made several planes around it, like the foul planes, or selling by my own different systems. This simulation is not just a video game. I have been part of this group a long time ago, 20 years ago, already working in the Blade: The Age of Darkness. That was a pleasure for me to make. It was a very advanced video game for the time, but of course now it's very old. I worked as animator, making such animations with other bounds, of course, and some characters modeling and cameras editing that you can find here in the Blade: The Age of Darkness. Right now it's reselling again in Steam. I don't want to make publicity about this, but it's just to present myself. I have been making also animation for other video games, like in 2004, cartoon animation style, like old one. That it was something like Monkey Island and other adventure that you have to investigate and go for things, etc., etc. So I can model, I can program a little, I can make everything, because in Spain usually we have to deal with this from the first beginning to the end of everything approach. And also I not just want to talk about professional, but also as player of video games since I was 8 years old and I bought my first Spectrum 48K. I just started to stream videos for the community, not only in my YouTube channel, but also in the Twitch channel that I have. As you can see here, I usually stream Arma. In this case, for example, the last stream to Arma3, Arma Reforger now, flight simulation, started with an squad, whatever is it. But also, not only that, my knowledge of simulations as user is extended to every kind of simulation. And I have, for example, world tours in Microsoft Flight Simulator from the first S.O.G, so we can deal with any aircraft. I have almost all aircraft of this simulator, DCS, but not only plane simulations. Also, we have, for example, Cold War Operation Flashpoint. That was my first beginning. I had the very first Operation Flashpoint. I remember when I was working in Rebel Studios for Blade: The Age of Darkness. I wanted to have a game like this, that it was something different, because my passion was always flying, and I wanted to go. When I was shut down, I could, for example, continue the adventure in the parachute and trying to survive in the battlefield. I also play Combat Mission and Steel Beast. It's very complex simulator about tanks and how to manage them, different type of tanks, and it's trained by the real armies in Spain and other armies around the world. So I have a knowledge about this. Of course, not expert knowledge about also boats or submarines, like making in Silent Hunter with all type of modding, like for example the Enigma. Always try to make tutorials about how to make several things, not only in this kind of simulation of boats, also in different planes and all the simulators. So I have, I would say, about very advanced knowledge about how every system in everything works, etc., etc. And I have been playing, of course, other games like my beloved Witcher that I have in my mind also as well. But nothing can compare with Arma, with the number of hours that I have in Arma. You can see here that in Arma 3 I have almost 3,000 hours. I played with this group Armados, that we play every weekend 2 missions, or sometimes we play 3 missions that we are joining together for groups of 50, 60, we are almost 90 people, so we can join all together. And we have been here, I think, in this group almost 9 years, I think, 9 years. Our main focus is Arma 3. That is the reason we call Arma Armados. We are people of all ages. There was a discussion here in our group because here we have people above the 60s. When we read the PDF that was leaked about what was going to be focus, the main game of the new Reforge was about something like 18 years old until 46 or something like that. We said, what happened with us? Doesn't matter, it doesn't care. I will play video games if I can until I die, because it's a type of culture. And for sure I'm in VR, I'm in the last everything that I can. I have joysticks, I have HOTAS, and I have all kind of devices like this hat that I'm not wearing because just I want to wear it because right now it's 29 degrees in my room, and this is because this clip that is over here that I put it, and it's a device that is called Track IR, that when I move the head, the character that I'm simulating moves the head with me in the vision, so I don't have to press a key, for the people that don't know. So the reason I'm just here is because Bohemia Interactive just asked not just to use this program, but also to give feedback about it. Because this program that is still we don't know, is going to become Arma 4 and we have to pay for it again. That is something that I don't care so much, if I have the money of course, because I always try to support Bohemia Interactive in any kind of Arma series that they bring us. We don't know still, this is a type of bridge between Arma 3 and Arma 4, and they are trying to read what are our feelings about this. Arma 3 is a game that has been a long time, and the special thing about Arma is always that we have been able to mod at a very low level. I mean low level inside of it, because it's like a massive way of modding it. There is no other such game that can make this such type of modifications. It's a sandbox. So when people has downloaded this game and has made the reviews about it, they think that this video game is something like a Squad, for example, and they compare with a Squad because we have this kind of play. And Squad, I have to say it, is much better than this kind of gameplay that we have here in Arma, in this new Arma. And why is that? Because Squad is more time making that, it's more concentrated in, it's a tool that can make that. If we can compare in video game industry what is Arma and what could be, for example, Battlefield or Call of Duty or Squad, a Squad would be a screwdriver, Battlefield would be a hammer, and another one would be a scissors. But Arma is the main toolbox, but you don't have the greatest tools inside of it, but you have all of them. That is the way of trying to say what is Arma for the people. So when they are thinking that Squad is better than this, they are really saying the truth. It's really better than this. But so they say, why I should buy this 30 euros or whatever price you have Arma instead of Squad, I've already had it. Well, that is because those people usually are becoming very fast in what is action. They need to have really fast action. We have action games like Battlefield, like Call of Duty. Squad is not so fast, but it has really easy to have battlefields. When you die, you just come and return to the battlefield immediately, or just wait in a few seconds. Squad could be a game that could be inside any console. And of course, we need the people of the console, because Arma Reforger is coming to the console industry, and that is good because it's going to have more fresh people inside of this project and will give money to Bohemia Interactive that needs to complete these projects that are the love of our passion of gameplay. In Group Armados we have people more than 60 years old. I'm 51 and we have a different way of playing. We are not fast, we don't have the reflex of any Call of Duty player, we don't kill a lot, and in our community we have people of 18 years old. We don't search for the person that kill more. we search for the person that collaborates more. And bringing new people to the battlefield of Arma Series from the game industry that is coming from the console industry is great, but we have a little problem, and always we have the same fear. The main reason is because mostly of all the games of the console industry are more like arcade, or they are not so much simulation. Can be some kind of simulation. For example, there is Microsoft Flight Simulator, but usually they play more like an arcade. And if you, for example, compare Flight Simulator, there are some kind of arcade solutions for them. And try to concentrate in one area is difficult to a developer, because he has to have the time to produce that. You don't have twice the time. You have the time you have, and you have to concentrate in some part areas. And with this kind of playability that we had already inside of Arma, because we could produce any kind of this type of conflict that is a kind of a squad that is not a squad, because we have night and day. We have a 52 kilometers map that is not so big, because we have already in Arma Series maps that they are hundreds of square kilometers. Then they think that is going to compete with the squad, so they bring us here, and then they play another game. The type of game that we have already in Arma, that is cooperative one. Even in Arma 3, it's a sandbox. You could make a Mario Kart video game if you want, or you can make any science fiction future one. Even you don't have to shoot anything. You can make things like clues or puzzles, games, or whatever. You can do anything you want. That is the strongest point of Arma series. But you already has inside of Arma 3 series, you have that type of gameplay, like King of the Hill or whatever, more arcade type of gaming. When a new person that comes to Arma 3 see that kind of gameplay, they think that is another type of arcade game, and they are totally wrong. You can to this game and make a cooperative and not PvP, because PvP is totally different. When you play a PvP, you know that an enemy is going to attack you. It's going to attack you soon, so you are prepared to be attacked. So you lay down and you sneaky, and you don't show yourselves. You don't make patrols. You just stay, hide in a place. And that is boring. Sometimes, if you want to simulate an action that is starting, a war that is starting to go to a place and to surprise the enemy that is making patrols, you have to make it with artificial intelligence bots. And that is something that is prepared in Arma series, Arma 3, Arma 2, etc. etc. That is the only way, because the artificial intelligence don't think that today they are going to be attacked. In our group, for example, if they kill us, AI kill us, or there is a friendly fire that you can have also friendly fire, you're gone. Even if you wanted to play the mission for a long time, along the week, you have to go. You have to disconnect. Of course, you can see the match from the death cameras, but you cannot play anymore. You only have one opportunity. That way we feel the sensation of dying. And this is boring. This is really boring. And what is worries most to me is that the people that is coming from the consoles, are they thinking that they are bored? Because they want to play just minutes. They want to sit down and play 1 hour or something like that. A mission in Arma 3, I have played missions for 7 hours. The most usual are missions for 2 hours, 3 hours, or something like that. It's something like preparation. You have to go to the battle area or the work operations area. Several times you have several missions in the same mission. You have to maybe run for 8 kilometers to reach that area. You have to travel by helicopter, by ship, by boat, by convoy. That is very boring, because you have to stop in every point that you think there is a possible trap, that somebody is going to attack you. You have to stop, put everybody around to look every direction. And that is sometimes boring, because it can take 1 hour, 2 hours until you shoot the first shoot with your rifle. That is something that I don't know how it's going to be dealt by the consoles, because of course you can bring that people, but that people are not prepared for that. When they see our way of playing, they are amazed. Their minds explode. It's something like they cannot imagine about that kind of gameplay. So what happens here? Because as I said before, Bohemia Interactive want us to give us feedback. And of course you can go here and even make an issue, or you can report any feedback you want about several options that you have here. Right now it has bugs, but in this Arma series, any alpha is full of potential, because you can mod everything. from the very first beginning. You have to learn the tools, but you can do it. So you can change whatever you want from the beginning. So you can report here whatever. In any case, it's only one line. I cannot go to the next line. You can report whatever you want here. I want to make this report to just think about something that I think is important. Of course, we can change it ourselves because as modders we can modify something we don't like. But I think the core mechanism that we should have, because if we have the mode, maybe we can go to a server with that mode and we can play that way. But if we change to another server that doesn't have that mode with that core mechanic, the gameplay is going to be totally different from the other. So you cannot adapt having different types of gameplay depending on the server you connect. Of course, with your friends can be always like that, but when you change to another server with another community, then you are going to have that problem if you don't have that mode or they don't want to install that mode. I'm talking about character movements. The character movements, I think they should be inside of the core mechanics and not changeable. In Arma 3, for example, we have new movements introduced in mods, but if you don't have that mod, you don't have that. For example, climbing through walls. But the problem here is that it's introduced also for the gamepads. First of all, in any Arma 3 series or Arma 2 series, we could use any kind of joystick with any axis. Even the mouse, we could use it before to manage any kind of playability with the character or the vehicle. Right now, we have also the key buttons that is already there and the pads. Problem with the pads is that they have the buttons that they have, nothing more. And a keyboard has a lot of keys. And also if you connect a joystick, it can have a lot of buttons also. So the main problem is to carry a lot of movements and options into little enough number buttons that we have here. Yes, they do have some axes, better than a keyboard, for example, but they have little buttons. So what they usually people do is make the same button, you can press it or you can hold it. Or you can press a combination between two. The problem is that if we check out here, when we deal with a game like Arma 3 that has 10 years already, you can go to those options and in controls. And also we have the pads if we want, but also joysticks. So if, for example, I think that is something that it should be included in Arma in the future. If we disconnect, if we have the USB, we connect it, or even the track IR, because I didn't connect it before, because I forgot. Most of the games, if you don't have these devices connected, they won't allow you. But this in a hot start, you can refresh and you have them. Track IR and the new buttons. You can play, even you don't have to press accept. You can go down and you can see how, for example, for the movements of the helicopter, we have the joystick with an axis. That is this axis, is axis here. Or you can choose different options, not only one option, but different options. Something that in Reforger is still not present. Or you can press twice the same letter to make something. For example, we press D twice, it's going to be twice. Or we can press two at the same time. As you can see, there's an ambiguity here with other. We can press for that option twice at the same time, the same as the pad with the combinations. That gives us a strong way of making different movements with just little buttons as this, because we usually with the keyboard only introduce the motion of the keys that are around the WASD in the space, and the mouse, of course. One of the strongest points of the Arma 3 series was that it has the editor here inside the game. Right now we don't have that editor, we have something like a SEOs that we can deal with, and it's very strong. And of course we have some kind of editor that is not an editor, there are tools in the workspace outside. People are complaining, I think it's just because it's something new. I think the new one is the strongest of this one, but it would be nice to have such a thing, because to have knowledge to build a mission inside of the new tools, they have to learn the new tools, and this will bring problems having new gameplay in cooperative against the AI. And I think we should have both too in the future for those people that don't have to train a lot and learn the new tools, just a simple one. Even with the Game Master mode, we can introduce something more or less like the editor does, and I think it should be used to modify and add those tools maybe in the future, I don't know. So we can go to the editor here and we can choose whatever map we have already. Malden, for example, is a map of the first Bohemia Interactive, so maybe we will see Malden in the future in our new ARMA Reforger. You just go, for example, for Strategy, that was the first map, and load it. Here is the tool that we have already. We can, of course, go to anywhere, and we can set, for example, our player here. We can look for a gunner, and we can play with it. So, for example, we are looking to the side. Now we concentrate here, we press the reset of the track IR, and we can look around. We can play as always inside here, and I don't have the 3D view because I hate it. For me, it's like some kind of, the immersive of it is worse. But I'm going to put it for the sake of just expressing what it should be in the level of games we activate. Now we press the 0, and we have that character. As you can see here, the animations they have more weight here in Arma 3. When you see the animation, I think they are more weighted, so they can, I don't know, it's a feeling of weight. In any case, here in Arma 3 we have several animations that we do not have in Arma Reforger. For example, when you look and stand up, now we have in Arma Reforger the option to go up and go down in the height of the character. Here we also can go up and go down, and this is not a Tarkov implementation because Tarkov is later than Arma. For example, we can press the Ctrl and S, and when we are aiming, we can just go down, 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 and down, and everything is connected. So as you can see here, we can be in between this position and this position, and believe me, this is important here because sometimes you don't see anything. When you are laid down like this, you cannot see anything to aim at, but here you can see a little more. It's important. Then you go up, 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 this one, and then we have another one if we want to look more upper, like is this one. As you can see, the weapon is a little more high in the... So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 positions in the high. Then we have the Q and the E that is exactly the same, but you don't have this in Arma Reforger. As you can see here, I'm in the external view now. I have 3 screens, okay? And I'm going to do something, not with my hands. My keyboard is here, okay? I'm not going to touch it. You see that? That is because I'm making this. So I can control more or less the amount of motion I can do with press of pedals, of flight pedals. That is something that can be seen here. In the motion of the infantry, when you say lean to the left, lean to the right, is also tied not only with the Q, but with an axis to the left. Okay, I can put whatever axis I want, I'm putting that different. And this is very nice, because in Arma, when you are jogging, you don't have to press a key to just go slower. You just move a little and automatically. You see? I'm making this, I'm going to pour more to the side. So when I'm looking inside the character, I just move a little and automatically it slows down. Something that I didn't see in other video games. That is one of the reasons that of the success of Arma 3, because you don't see this type of control in any character in any other video game. Squad, Battlefield, or whatever you like. Even moving the head, that is impressive already, because I can look here and look to the left and look to the right. That already has the new Arma Reforger. But not only can have 8 positions in the height of the character, we also can have this one. I'm going to put it here to demonstrate it. Have you seen it? Or to the left, or to the right. So we can be like that and look the amount of body that is shown to the enemy. Not so much we show to the enemy. If we have only this, we are showing a little more, because we are showing more parts of the body. In this case, we are showing less parts of the body. And of course, I can continue to make the lean. Of course, with the Q, the E, if I press it twice, the Q is going to remain there, as it is in Arma Reforger. We didn't lose this, but we did lose this one. And as you can see, not only it moves to the side, but also change the weapon to the side. See here, we are here right now. In any other, we have to do it like this. So we expose part of the body. We change that to the left. Look at the body, how is less exposed. And the weapon is on the left, not only on the right. It was on the right, but of course it can bring it back to the left and the right, left and the right, left and the right. Also, we are laid down to make this, or make this. You are in the first view, and there is an enemy in the other position. Just make this, can save your life. And of course, we can animate like that, or like that. We lose that one. It's a shame, because we can go this one also. That is different than this one. See? It's something like I want to shoot in the down because there is something that is below the door. I can shoot it. So we have lost. We have the option 1, 2, 3 different positions in the horizontal way, plus 4, 5, 6 and 7 positions in the horizontal way. But what happens if we want to roll because they are shooting at us? We can roll. We don't have that one. It's an old one and we miss it. Because sometimes when they are shooting you, the most secure position is laid down because of grenades explodes around you or wherever. Of course, you can go faster, slower. But not only that, you can be like that or be like that when you run. I don't know if you saw the difference. Be like that or be like that. Totally different. Be like that. You see? That's going to see in the first view. Be like that or be like that. Or be like that with the weapon. And also something that is important, maybe not so big, but this is important for PvP, because in PvP what you see is the motion of the character of the enemy. You don't see the body. When you have camouflage, the enemy don't see it. When you see motion, then you see there is something there and your eyes catch it immediately. There is danger here. I'm going to look at that, catch my attention. So the idea, that is the reason why usually when people don't have the Alt key, that is to look around, if you don't have track IR, you press Alt, then you can look around. As you see, I am pressing the Alt, that we have also in Arma Reforger. When you look around, you just look around without moving the body, just the head, little motion. But also you can do only in first person, because this is not seen in third person view. You can press that Alt when you're aiming, so you can move and you will see this is the same as moving, and I say no, I cannot go farther this way. I cannot go farther this way. And if I release it, it's going to return to the vertical area that it was. In this case that. I'm going to press it again and you will see what it does. I'm moving the torso only of the character, not my legs. So less movement and quit fighting. That way you are not seen by the enemy, and that I think that is important for PvP. Usually people, what it does is this, and this makes a lot of motion for anybody that is outside, looking outside. Another thing that I don't use, but is there, is this option. In game, we can go to the calibration of the sight. So if we put everything here, you do the same as I explained before, without moving the body from outside, without pressing the Alt. But it's something quicker, it's more sensitive. As you can see, I'm not playing something. So you can, for example, doing this, I'm advancing to the front and I can look to the left or to the right while I'm advancing the same direction. This is an amazing movement, which is not, I don't put it because when you are looking, you don't know where you are going. If I'm going this way, okay, I'll look that way, and I put it that way, it's a mess because I don't know the right direction I was going. So usually good for those that don't use any kind of device. And of course they can look up. In an advance, that usually is the advance when you are trying to advance for the enemy position. So you control everything very quickly. That is something we do not have in Arma Reforger. Another type of thing that we have lost, of course, this type of things I have to remark here that I'm not saying that it's worst product. I'm saying that we need to include these things as core gameplay, because I think these are important. And these all core mechanics came in Arma 3 since the very first beginning. So my fear is that they are not coming anymore. Another thing that we lost are the rabbits. We miss the rabbits. Pentman, We miss the rabbits in Arma Reforger. Don't have rabbits, we don't have anything. Okay, so when we are in a vehicle, the first thing in the TriCAR, of course, we can do the same, but we have lost this, the option to move in different axes, even this axis and this axis. This is important because for the people that we play inside, not outside, because we want to be immersive. If we don't see anything because there is a frame of the window, we just do this and we can look. Or we can go down around and try to look what is behind. Or we can just look our mirrors that thank you a lot, Bohemia Interactive, for fixing the problem with 3 screens that attach. As you can see, all is squashed here in the PIP rendering method in the mirrors or the sides. Now it's fixed in Arma Reforger. So we can look here to the mirrors or the other mirrors to see if something is wrong with it. Now they have introduced a better movement in the vehicles also. Again, thank you Bohemia Interactive for doing that. If you press it with the A and D, it tries to not be so digital one from 0 to 1, but it's like something I don't like. So the usually thing what I do is this. Steer, as you can see, there is a little arrow in the middle of the steer. Now you can see it better. When I move the mouse, I move it on the sides of the mouse. I just not pressing any key on the mouse, just moving to the side of the mouse. So they are more fluid. Of course, you can attach any kind of device here in the options of the controls. In the pads, you can attach any kind of control. In this case, it's not the mouse, but the mouse is here in the movement of the vehicle. You see the ratón, that is mouse, is left to the izquierda, and derecha is the right, ratón is the mouse to the right. So it's something we have lost, and I hope we can introduce it. And just for ending, one of the things I hate most, but this can be produced in the change in the mods. You can see now it's far better in Arma Reforger, but when you are shooter from the distance, you have to lay down the grass. The grass stays a while there until it rises up. It can be maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, I don't remember, but it stays. Then it will come again up and comes slowly. So you can see it's rising up little by little. So you have to again move it down and put in the position again to just shoot and let it see, because sometimes there are more grass like this, for example. So you can put it like that, and then you go down, and then you can look. That grass will come up again, but it will come slowly. One thing before ending this is please, the helicopter flight, please give the options to advance. And even if you can make an advance for the planes, the better. And of course, something that is missing is, first of all, this, when we can put any kind of windows that we have in Arma in any position we want. And in the view, or the distant view, we have up to 12 kilometers. That still is not enough for a plane simulation inside the game. So I beg you, please, if you can do it, would be nice to have this. I know that is demanding more in the GPU or whatever, or maybe we can do it better with some time of level of detail, but I think it should be great to have that until 24 or something like that kilometers for looking something, especially in plane simulation. With the new engine, maybe it's possible, maybe not, I don't know. And here we are in the Reforger. We have the equipment. There is it. When you don't have the weapon, there is a bug, and sometimes there is another bug that looks down to the, I don't know why, with the TriCAR. As you can see here, we have the TriCAR again. Thank you for including from the beginning. There's a bug here that if you don't have any weapon, the FOB configuration you have is totally not modified. It's not possible. It doesn't change. We have new animations, of course. Not saying everything is bad. Of course, nothing is bad. Everything is good because this is a new way of exploring everything. First of all, thank you for removing, I think, the commands that we have in the list in the top left area of the menu was something that, of course, the console people could not use. There are people that don't like it because looking to the side and choosing the options, they don't like it, but I like it, it's nice. But I think we could do the stairs, for example, the climbing stairs, easier if you just go here and it detects the cutter and just grab the stairs. And if you don't want to just go backwards without pressing any key. Right now we have to press the key to do this. But I think we could do it just doing it like that and like auto pressing the F immediately. I think it would be nice to have that option to auto press that option, and then when we go there, just do it like this. It's just we don't press the F to go outside of the ladder, just we go. Okay, we didn't have this, of course. We can go up, and it was quickly also in Arma 3, but we couldn't do this, and this is amazing because right now we are just being able to make the animations much faster when we go down and they are shooting at us and we die because we are not fast enough. Okay, look, it's looking down, I don't know, it's looking up. There is a bug here in the track IR, I don't know why is this happening, but it happens. It's like then I have to move the mouse, and the mouse, when I move the mouse, is okay. And we have a lot of animations here, new. Of course, we can have the double press of the control, we have to go down and go up. We can go to look to the sides, and we can press the control and the mouse wheel. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 11. So we have 11 plus this one. So we have 12 positions that we have. In the vertical position we have only 8 in Arma 3. I think this is a huge step forward and it's nice to have it. But if we press the control and the mouse wheel up, then we'll stand up. But if we press from this position the control and the mouse wheel down, it doesn't do it. So it should be nice because I have to press a key when we shouldn't press any key. Now also we have the option to go faster, jogging, with just the move of the wheel. That is something nice. And of course we have the press of the keys. Walk, I didn't put the walk, it's going to assign 12th press. It allows the same, so it's nice. We can press 2 of the buttons, just 2 of the option to just walk. But if I press it, I have to maintain. No, it doesn't do it. There's a bug here because I press it and continue. It doesn't work. I don't know if I press another key. So for example, this one, no, it doesn't work. So right now it doesn't work there, but it should work in the future, I think. So we have better movement in speeds, in all the speeds, not only in the walking. I think we have only 2 of that. No, we have 3 of them more or less in the animations, also in the sides, and that is really nice. But we don't have the lateral movements. So we can press the Q or double press to maintain it there, or here to maintain it there. Or we can press the control and the E to just modify a little like it was before with Arma 3 with my pedals of my flight pedals. That is nice, but we have to press 2 buttons. If it would be in an axis it would be better. Not rolling neither. We don't have any rolling neither. So we press the Q and the E and just it moves the camera, nothing more. Maybe it has to be implemented in the future, maybe it will be implemented. Also, we don't have the ability to change the weapon, the side of the weapon. So we have on the right what we cannot put in the left, that we have in Arma 3. That is important in several areas. For example, we want to go to this area, especially when we are in first person. Of course, we can do like this, but we show a lot of the shoulder. If we put the weapon in the hand, then we show less, and it's a nice addition. Also, when we are running, we don't have the option to look around. As if we go here, if we point here, we are going to go there. We're going to go there. But we were not walking straight, pointing like this. Because to do that, we have to be pressing the W and the D at the same moment. Which is okay, we can deal with it. But it would be nice to be added that, for sure, in Arma Reforger. There is no options for that movement here in the controls. Maybe in the future would be added, I don't know. But this is a lean left, lean right, toggle left, left, right, adjust leaning. Could be this one. As you can see here, this is an axis. Could be nice to have an axis, a joystick for this one. There is no such options. It is okay, but it gives us better understanding and better movement and control of the character. You can here go to the vehicle and say it is very nice to have the option to go there. Of course, sometimes you have to go and look for the place. You don't have to walk, but it's very nice because there was a problem in Arma 3. You want to sit here, maybe you were sit here in the other position, so it is very nice. So you make all the animation, thank you a lot, with no black screen when you get inside. Would be nice to do the same animation. I know that is hard work for the animators, but would be really nice to do those animations all fully and not just a translate. Now we are dealing with great movements and with great animation. When we go with the jeeps, they are really great. They move the levers, etc. Now, when we just move to the left or move to the right, there are more steer control of it. Okay, it's not such more 1-0, but we don't have that arrow that you saw with the mouse, moving the mouse. I move the mouse and doesn't do anything. It would be nice to have that feature to control several, not only the mouse, but also anything that can control a vehicle, any axis, any joystick you have. The pedals, if I wanted to use them, for example, would be nice, really nice. And the last thing is about shooting when you are laid down. As you can see here, I can lay down this one, but I need to lay down everything. So, for example, I'm looking like this. I need the scissors, but you can see they rise immediately. Why they rise immediately? They should be down in the position. Now we cannot shoot because every time we are in the hill, we are looking down for the enemy and they are rising again. We have to be more in the edge, so more visible to the enemy. Please fix it then. Give an option to cut the grass around. Give us machetes. Give us knives to cut the ground. Scissors to cut the ground. I know this can be done by the mod community, but we want to have that features, that core features in the side of the core to play in every server we play the same. Also, as Dyslexy said, it would be nice when you move around. I think it's a great idea if you deal with it in slow motion when we are crossing any kind of bushes or great vegetation. First of all, I think I wouldn't be able in the real life to cross this one. And maybe people will say, who wants real life? That is Arma, trying to imit at a high level the real life. But Arma wouldn't let the people that want to play more arcade to have that option. So there would be an option to switch off that movement through bushes to go slower. So don't worry those people, it's more options to everybody. It's the tools. You know, Squad is the hammer, Battlefield is the screwdriver, Arma is the toolbox of everything. So I think it would be nice to don't allow past several bruises, or at least in this kind of bruises to slow down. I wouldn't pass in the real life. I would have to do something. Give us a machete, I don't know how to call it in English. But go slowly. And of course motion, because as said before, also in PvP, and I hope for the AI, because the AI in Arma 3 can hear you with mods. Please move the foliage buses when we are passing, because movement is the initial alert view for the player to know that something is going wrong and look over there. Now with the amazing shadows views that allow, even in long, very long distance like that, in those forests with shadows that in Arma 3 that wasn't possible. Now it's possible. So we have to deal looking better for catching where is the enemy. And those kind of movements is what shows where are the enemy. One thing I was referring also is about the animation. Now the animation is smoother. When we change from animations, they are smoother from one to another. Would be nice to have some kind of inertia in the movement. So when we stop, just don't do this. Just stop with one step forward. Well, if you fall in the cliff because you have a cliff and you didn't stop enough, it's your problem. You have an inertia. But it's better than Arma 3. But it would be nice to have not these motions. The step is there. Grab the step over the ground. Don't move it. And I think it's better. Not because just for the ourselves, because I usually play here and I don't see it. Okay, we don't see it. This is good. But if we play for the people that we are looking outside, maybe. But this is just stupid. Yeah, this is just major. Yeah, giving bigger visual for the things that make this greater than it is. But overall, I want to point here again. Reforger is great. It's such a great product. Such great because we have a new engine to deal with, and I'm trying to support also professionally if I can, because I love this product. I love Arma. I have loved Arma for 10 years. Make this marriage with this product to last long, because it's incredible. we can say how to do these things. We cannot do these things if we have only such a little number in the gamepads. Well, we can make double presses of the button twice, 3 times. Even if we are inside vehicle. This is the part where I put my grain and I say how I could do this, if I could do it, of course, with all the respect, always, to the company, because I know how hard it is to make video game. I always do. When I have here in some reviews that they have worked fast to give it something fast and very quickly with bugs, of course they have bugs, because this is something like everything is advancing more graphics, more power, more possibilities, or failing. But we all that we work in the game industry know how long it takes to release something. And also we know how long it takes to erase and throw to the dustbin something that never brings to the gameplay. Okay, if I'm here, for example, we can look here and look to the F and switch. We have to press it, and maybe in the gamepad we have to hold the Y one. But what would I do? Several options we have with the pads that have not so many number of keys. First of all, to change to that direction, I will press double left if I'm in another position than the steer one. So double left to the left, and I will move to this point. Double press to the right, I would move to that point. Double press forward, and I would move to the gunner. Double press backwards, and I would move to the rear seat. Triple press or double press to the side of your seat. For example, if you are in the front seat and you want to exit, double press to the right. If you are on the right, double press to the left and you will exit automatically. If you are rear, double press to the right or double press to the back. If there are several seats behind, double press to the back puts you in another seat, different. But in this case, if you want to go outside, double press to the left. If you are in the center, double press to the back. Or triple press to exit in any position. 3 times is not very difficult. Once you do it, if there are people that can play piano and guitars, I think this is very easy. For the game, this is very easy. If you put that system, I would remove all the other menus and I always would concentrate in the inventory of the car, because you have to open the track here. Sometimes it's difficult because you are not looking in the right position. You try to look and you have to move it and it's not right. You give us an area, a bigger area for the inventory, and you removed all these positions function that we have over here. Okay, even you can open the front one to fix the engine, for example, or something, if you have the right tools. In Arma 3 we have that. Change the wheel to make the animation, catch the wheel, and we change it and whatever, and you get the options to make it for the motors or whatever. The idea is to remove these options that are great, as better than the menus, but remove more, than to make more intuitive, or you can leave them and give another option to do it immediately, but removing these not essential ones, for example. About the motions, the ones that we don't have, we have the different motion with the axis, so we move faster and forward or backwards, different speeds with the axis. That's okay, but if we want to adjust the stance, we have to maintain one trigger and another one. That is right, it's an axis, because we just stand up or down with the right up or down. That is good, no problem. The same you can do in the side. You can press Control or press this button on the side of the right, the path of the side to the side, to control these size movements we have in Arma 3, the side ones that we showed before, to the left, to the right, to roll, depending on the position. If you are here and you do the same, you are going to roll or not. You can maintain to roll, or you can just press a little tick on the pad to stand in the new position that it was laid down. Also, as you can see, I think the animation is less heavy than the Arma 3. In Arma 3 was more like the hip in the character was more stronger. It's more fluid animation, but it's not more heavy. That is something we can deal with, because usually we play in this area. But also, if you have gamepads, there is another option if you don't want to use the triple usage of or press of the buttons. Well, we have combos, you know, we have left, right, you know, you made the middle circle axis to the left to make combos in short games, up, down, quickly, while we press it and make the motion of the act of something that we are doing. So we have a lot of ideas of how to make this kind of stuff in the pads. But also we have the option here with the net pads, I think they have microphones. And we have the option to give orders by voice. and we can say lean right, lean left, or whatever. I don't know if that would be possible with the radios, with the system of the radios, because they are something that it has to be tested. It's not easy. Of course, I'm not saying that it's easy and it can be done. But for me, I just wanted to express that there is something that it's missing there, and we should give a try. We have the new jumping that, oh my god, that is more the bunny jumping. In this area, for example, and I want to bring something that we had bugs in the beginning in Arma 3, if we, for example, go here and you were lying from this altitude in Arma 3, you will kill, immediately kill. Okay, that was fixed, of course. But, for example, if I'm walking here, don't make it jump. You see here, I have to jump, press the jump. Would be more faster if just he makes the jump. It's the same as the ladder. He detects it and he jumps. Just like that. Detect it, jumps. Don't have to press it. The same as here. You do it immediately. It just goes up. So to deal with this problem, I have my controller connected there directly. It's my PS3 controller. It acts as Xbox 360, but it's a PS3. It's because I have a program to connect it. Right now it's configured the way it has to be. It can go faster, slower, so it's something like we don't have to fear to include the console guys, people here, because Arma 3 with this is not worse. It's the same, okay? So if we go forward, backward, we can go slow or we can go fast. There is a little problem because when we are going in the same formation, we have to go a certain speed. That's usually we achieve it when we are running, for example, with the W. If we press the C, for example, this is a different speed than this one. So not colliding one to other people when we are in a row. So information, that is the way we say, well, you have to press the C to be at the same speed. Or for example, if we put it down, it's not the same this speed than this speed with the C, pressing the C. It seems to be the same, but it's not the same, okay? It's totally different. So there are different ways of advancing, not only running, but in the jogging. Okay, so when we have in the console, if the people of the console are going to be playing with the PC ones, it's going to be a problem in this one because this is totally axis movement. They don't know which speed they do have to use and they are going to be colliding, but it's something we have to manage anyhow. So with the left pad we can move left, right, up, down with different speeds, and here very fast rotating on, moving up and down. This is already programmed. Okay, we press the right pad, we are inside, and then the trigger of course is better than in the PC because the trigger feels more like an gun. Then you have in the upper one, you have the map that I don't know how to remove it because I have to press the N in the keyboard, and then you have the selection menus here that you can select any options. With the square we can make the reloading, the circle it just stand up, stand down, the trigger, left trigger makes the zoom to just be able to fight or whatever. Okay, so here the select change between first person and third person view, and the start make direction to the menus in the game. Let's go to see if we can change that. In the controls there is no options to modify. If we go for example here and we press one of the buttons, we cannot do it. In pressing nothing changed, but if we go here to the controllers and we deactivate it, okay, the controller will be here, and now we can deal with all the animations. And now for example, for advance fast, for example, we can press a button. Now that I have deactivated, I move anything of the pads and it doesn't make anything, so I can make the changes in the pad the way I think they should be in Arma Reforger. So let me do it, and then I will come back later with the results. I didn't test it, so I don't know, maybe it's wrong. Maybe I am wrong. Well, I think I got it. I have to say, I never tried to work with the gamepads because I don't like consoles. Well, they have given really great games, but I usually prefer to play with the keyboard and mouse. Okay, so I just managed to put everything. It was tricky because it's not prepared, and I think it's not prepared because it's not programmed for that. I mean, I use a trigger option, an alternative key plus another key that gives more function. So for example, if I press the circle or the square, it's not the same to press that alternative key and the circle and the square, and we can choose whatever alternative keys we want. But if for example I choose this trigger up to be the trigger one and to maintain this and this one is not going to work. I don't know why, but I think it's something about the programming inside of Arma 3. Of course, this is meaning for B inside of Arma Reforger, but the thing is, doesn't work. So, but I think working on that wouldn't be a problem at all, because other video games use, for example, sword gaming or whatever, use combos like this to multiply the number of keys. So, for example, we have the, I'm going to put the external one, we have the normal going up, down, whatever, going slow depending on the motion, okay, the same as before. As you can see here in the controls, it's not inside of here, it's deactivated, okay, so it's just the assigned inside of the several functions in Arma 3. So we have this, we have that, we have the other one, okay, we can look, okay, look up, look down, we are in the center position, and if, for example, I press the right joystick, then I go to this view, okay, and I can select it, and I of course can fire. Okay, if I maintain the fire, that is the trigger right, you only will fire one. If I, with the left arrow here, I can select the other function, okay, and can change between the type of burst I want, okay, as you can see here. Then on the top of the trigger, I can make the, of course, that one. That is something usually you can choose, it's no problem at all. And here comes the tricky ones. Okay, so you are outside and you want to produce all the movements that we have before in Arma 3, in Arma Reforger, with this. The thing is, I said to you, if I make a trigger, it won't work. I don't know why, I think it's something because programming. But if I make this, if I go to the motions of the infantry, and I go to the adjust position up, down, or whatever, for example, left or right, you will see that I have a trigger that is the space plus the number here, the position number. So if I press these buttons already, this is really fast to be, because I want the soldier has to be very fast making a position. So for example, I made the triangle is up, the circle is in the middle, and the X is on the back. But if I want to go deeper in the positions, I then press this space. Of course, it's not going to be pressed because they don't have a space, the console, but you can program correctly to only one of these triggers be the trigger one, this button and this button, with two triggers buttons, because we can use whatever number of triggers we want. Then you will be able to make the function. So for example, if I make this a space, triangle is going to make the animations as they are. Okay, I'm pressing the, you don't see it, but I'm pressing the space plus that one. And if I'm going down, makes all the animations that we miss in Arma Reforger. The same with this one, with the circle. The right, make the translation to the right, and the left, make the translation to the left. Even if we put up, okay, we can manage to be very quickly doing what we have to do. If we press that space, you see, this is for looking, but if we press that space and we press the right joystick, make this, it's going to lean. I don't know why it's not leaning correctly all the way it should, but it's leaning. So I can make this one lean, okay, to the left or right, no problem. I can also go and make the animation of escaping, space, and the left, that is the one to move. If I don't press the space, it's like that. If I press the space, it's making this. To the left, I move to the left, but if I press the space, it makes the animation. If I press it only once, it doesn't make the animation. I have to maintain press it. I said, these are the two triggers, the control, left control, and space. That could be this and this. We would lose these other functions, of course, because if we choose this and this, cannot be assigned. And the way to do it is, you see, these functions right now, they are one for this. You're going to see, if I press the Alt here, I put it here, I can move around the head, you see. If I maintain the Alt, this is the Alt trigger on the joystick, okay? I would lose that one, but I could assign to also that trigger to be a trigger, because in this case it's like a trigger, okay? So I wouldn't lose that function. And then the other one, this one, is for reloading, but I could put this trigger with this reloading. So I press this one and I press this, and that will reload. So I could lose the reloading, but we could choose another function to reload. For example, press this And the trigger, in that case, it didn't fire because it's triggered with this function. I'm totally sure it can be programmed. Then we have other options, like for example, going fast, that is usually the trigger on the left, and we can go slowly pressing this function. And of course, can be triggered because we have multiply not only these 4 buttons, 4 functions, we have 4 per 3, 12 functions. For example, if you want to make, let's going to make another, it's not done, okay? For example, this is for running, the trigger, left trigger. Let's going to make a zoom. We go to controls, looking, we're going to make this one. We press it with the trigger. This is space. As you can see here, I'm running with it, but if I make this, it makes the trigger. And I can put it for always, for example, toggle it, or just momentarily, if I want. Very easy. But the problem is, right now, it cannot be functions inside of the pad. Even if it would be not possible to make it, because the joystick cannot do it, you can program a function that is an alternative key for those gamers. So you program the function of the alternative key. It's like DCS. In DCS, you have the same. I've learned this from DCS. In DCS, you have several buttons, for example, but you need more, because there are joysticks that don't have those buttons. Then you choose a modification key of your joystick that is going to be only useful for that, and when you press it, is that modification key plus the button that you want. So it's sure it would work. Again, I tell you, I'm not trying to be pedant. Maybe you have investigated that. I'm not a person. You have a person that know everything. Maybe you thought about that. Maybe you are going to implement it. I don't know. It's just something imagine about my imagination or whatever. But I usually like to make gameplay. Okay, once you go here, you can go down, for example, with this function, as you see, or we can go up with the trigger, the same trigger. It's the trigger of swimming. This is swimming, just swimming, okay? Just swimming and swimming back. I'm going to put it up because if not, we are going to die. If we press the trigger and the going down, it's not going to swim back. It's going to swim down, so we can swim in this position. And going up, it's going to see in this position. Of course, we can look also. So the functions are really possible to do, and I'm not going to spend all my day with this, but I'm totally sure I could make all the animation, all the keyframes, all the functions of Arma 3 that I use with keyboard with this. So they don't have any excuse to use them. I mean the players. Of course, you can have all the excuses that you want. It's your product, it's your thinking, and it's everything. I'm sorry if you think that is something that I'm trying to be pedantic or I don't know, to be more. I think, well, you know exactly more your product what is it, but you ask, as you said, you ask it for feedback, and I'm trying to give you this feedback. Here, as I can see, finally, I see that there are already predefined controls in the gamepad. I can control with these buttons, and they are already done. The thing is, we have double R, for example, up, as I said, for example, to go outside from the car or whatever, or we have combinations that you already have. So you are giving the samples yourself. As said before, I not try to think something that has been thinking, but this demonstrates me that it's possible. And my only worry is that in this game it was cut, all these functions that were already in Arma 3. And you know the sentence, never go a step back even for taking any impulse. Even for impulse, go forward. That is something that I think is great. Of course, we don't know if this product is going to be something intermediate or more soft for the console players. That is something you know. Maybe the Arma 4 will be more demanding and will be perfect. All you know, all the things about it. But it's not fears, it's just the sensations of playing Arma. Not playing a squad, not playing anything. The sensation of playing Arma. You have made great tools to make that possible, and only the players and the modders will make it. And I think just it's only time to reach it. But I remember that in Arma 3 we had all those controls, and for me, in my case, is a little worry to see that there are not these controls here in this function, because, as you said, it has been complicated to make this for the GamePad players, and that shouldn't be never a problem. If they cannot do it, they cannot do it. I think they have to adapt to us. The consoles has to adapt to us, not us to the consoles players. And that is the main focus of everything that I wanted to explain here in this video. Not only because the controls is, they have to adapt to us. We are going to receive them. It's our house. They are going to come. We are going to play with them with the cross compatibility you said. No problem at all. In Group Armados we will meet with people that play with consoles. But I think, or we think, that they should play as we play. Maybe if that doesn't done that way, maybe you are a really big success and you have a lot of people from consoles, but a lot of people from PC will go away. The people from consoles are not there forever. They are just coming. They can stay or not. We are staying here. And I think it's good if we do this together. Again, I know it sounds something like I'm telling you what you have to do. No, you ask feedback, I give feedback. It's my feedback. Then you have to listen. Of course, if you have to listen every feedback of every people with a video like this, it will be, you will never end. That is the way I am. And that is the way I want to collaborate with Bohemia Interactive. Thank you a lot and good luck.